to use the color range selection technique to create an image that looks a little something like this. Well, we're going to start off with a color image, and what we need to do is go to Select and then Color Range. This time you'll notice the eyedropper tool pops up. I'm going to click on an awning, and for this image we're going to select all the red. We want to isolate all the red. When I click on the red, I can see that in this little window in the color range box, all the awnings are selected and are actually white. If I click on the taxi cab, I can see that this portion of the cab is lit up. Likewise, if I click on the exterior, I can see that the outsides of this building are selected in the color range window. But I'm going to return to this red awning, and I'm going to this time hold select. And when I'm holding selecting, I'm actually clicking down on the eyedropper tool, because what I want to do is maximize the selection in this image. I want to try to get as much red as possible. That means that I'm going into the individual stripes of this American flag. I'm actually clicking and dragging on these other flags as well. I'm going to go to the edge, make sure Mexico is well represented, and I'm going to press OK. Let's see how accurate a selection this is. I'm going to press actual pixels. I'm going to zoom in, and I can see that it's not perfect, but it doesn't look bad. I'm going to do two things pretty quick. What I want to do is make sure that I get all aspects of this flag right here. So I'm going to click on the polygonal lasso tool, although you could click on whichever tool is most appropriate for you. I'm going to click on the Add to Selection and just create a selection around this. It's not perfect, but it looks, decent. And I'm going to do the rear lights on this taxi car. I'm just going to go through. That looks good. And I don't want these selections. So I'm going to switch now from the Add to Selection to Subtract from Selection. And I know that sometimes it's easier to simply do that with the marquee tool, so I'm going to click the rectangular marquee, and I'm going to look around for other elements that I don't want included. I don't want that included. And for the purposes of this, it looks decent. If I'm going to spend more time on it, I might go through and add, for instance, this left side of the sign, but that's okay for right now. Alright, so we know that we now need to desaturate by pressing Control-Shift-I, Control-U, Control-L to adjust the levels. We want the lights as light as possible, the darks as dark as possible, and then adjust the midtones for aesthetic purposes. This looks good. The red on the awnings and the flags looks a little subdued, so I'm going to adjust that by going to Image, Adjustments, and then Curves, or you can just press Control-M. I'm going to move this curves window out the way, and make sure you press Control-Shift-I once again. Image, Adjustments, Curves. And you're going to want to make an S-curve. That looks pretty good right there. I'm actually going to press Control-U to increase the saturation just a little bit, to make the reds as bright as possible. And now when I'm looking at this isn't half bad. Alright guys, have fun as you work on using color range for the very first time.